of destitute. So bigger and bigger of them, they are living after years. This is what they said, it's been in Africa for 140 years. They would have to go. But that is actually it's not the big thing that I want to discuss with you. It is just like another sober reflection thing too, right? Let me point to it. When you look at all this, starting from the Lever Brothers, the Royal Niger Company, and then back to, when they started sharing what you can call the influence of these foreign investors or foreign companies, especially those in manufacturing, those who are producing things that a lot of us grew up using, liquid wash, toothbrush, baby powders, baby this, all that stuff that we grew up. For example, PZ, PZ, who have the powder, they have a body cream, lotion, they have body jelly, all that stuff, right? And they have been around for decades. They have enjoyed what you can call some diplomatic bilateral trade, they call it bilateral trade protection, which makes some of the African countries, for these supposed foreign businesses in Africa, to have seen, after slavery, then the next thing is labor. The kind of labor market in Africa is so cheap because they made it so. Listen to what I'm trying to put together here, okay? Talking about all these big companies who are now kind of capitulating. They are now leaving because the governments of Nigeria and some other governments in Africa, they have destroyed their country so their people have become so poor. Their economic power has become so dwindled. Like, you have a country, you have a lot of people, but they're like destitute, who can barely afford anything to eat. Talk less of, patronizing some of this, except for us, those who have possibly stealing your money and all that. But that is not the point. Here is the point. When you look at, for example, PZ, I want to believe that it is a British company or American company. It doesn't really matter. But it is not a Nigerian indigenous company. But it has been in Nigeria for years. When the middle class existed, when people who were working, whether you are civil servants or whether you are privately employed, but you are a regular income earner, the middle class that could afford to send their children to school, not just in Nigeria, even outside Nigeria, where the system allowed them to be able to acquire houses, cars, and things that actually makes life meaningful and participatory, a participatory economy, where you didn't really have to be so rich before you could afford basic things. Then gradually, slowly, IMF, World Bank, roguish different governments that have succeeded in Nigeria, especially in the last 10 years. America conspired. Britain backed them. And they said, a PhD holder is incompetent to run a country, an economy they said was the third fastest growing economy in the world in 2015. Then they conspired and they brought an illiterate, lifeless Maygad, who then came, implemented horrible policies that gradually and slowly and gradually almost wiped out the middle class, to the point that The margin has now shifted. P&G too, God bless you. There is P&G too, Procter and Gamble. So they made different policies in the last 10 years that saw people and their own, and their life savings, investments, quartered. Economic policies that impoverished people, not because they make any stupid investment decisions, just being in Nigeria. And once they began these policies, starting with America, bringing in and, using all they could to ensure that APC, Egbekegbe, took over Nigeria. Now, in 10 years, or almost 10 years now, there is completely no more middle class. There is no middle ground anymore. You are either very rich or you are very poor and belong. Policies of government where they were going left, right, and center, looking for who to borrow money from, devaluing your currency, devaluing your naira over time until businesses died, jobs died. And some of, I don't know, like when America and the rest of them were doing all of this, I don't think they thought about their businesses in Nigeria, businesses that are like everyday life of an average Nigerian. You want to buy Homo, you should be able to afford it. You want to buy cornflakes, you want to buy, Pampers, or you want to buy this or that. You want to buy things that are like your normal basic need every day, but now you can't buy them. And they too can make money. And gradually, they are folding up. So you see, it is not just us. You see, when we were talking about, when we're talking about corruption, okay? And some will say, I mean, if now you too, Mayegun, if now you too, if now you they make a governor now, you will do more than this. Just to justify whatever criminal mind you have, projecting that on others, but forgetting the consequences of criminality in government is not even limited to the victims you are thinking. Yeah, it's not limited. See, the rogues who are stealing your money, your big men, it is just because they are short-sighted. They do not have any foresight. That is why they see looting you, stealing from you, building mansions inside shanties, driving hundreds of millions of naira worth of automobiles, billions of naira automobiles on untarred roads. At the end of the day, money that is meant for provision of education, they've stolen it. So they decided to give you adulterated education. And where do you think that will leave you? Adulterated education will give you quack doctors that will work and kill you. Adulterated education will give you quack lawyers that will argue and send you to jail. Adulterated education will give you adulterated engineers. They will build houses and the houses will collapse. Adulterated education will bring in policemen, military, officers, whose job is to protect you. They will turn the gun on you. Adulterated education. So they will take the money, buy properties abroad, buy properties here and there, deny millions of you proper education that can really help you. So 10, 15, 20 years time, some of you will turn to terrorists. Some of you will turn to fraudsters. Some of you will turn to assassins. Some of you will turn to politicians to make the situation worse. At the end of the day, none of you will turn to something that will be productive for the entire country. None. Rather, you will be looking for a chance to take your own shots. No be so? So, also, the money meant for healthcare, they've stolen it. They themselves have no access to healthcare. In their greed, they do not know that it is safer to build, to use the money meant for medical care or health care, to actually build the health care facility, so that when they have heart attack, or they are robbed, they are attacked by armed robbers, or they are attacked by kidnappers, the people who are the product of their own corruption, they can at least have access to health care just about 30 minutes, 20 minutes away, instead of waiting inside the plane for 6-7 hours to go and see a doctor in Germany, to go and see a doctor in London. So at the end of the day, corruption will pay those who are thinking corruption is paying them too. Of course, you don't have access to that money, so you can really be very hungry. Those who have access to money are also doing the damages to themselves, damages that will also kill them. That's what corruption does, in truest sense. So it is the same way. This time around, this one is not for you. It is for our imperialist puppet masters, the ones that will give the criminals in Nigeria every requested loan that they know they will steal, but because they know they have millions of people that they can put the debt on, and in perpetuity they can serve, we can serve them. So their own businesses will be dying. That's the bottom line. The end of Nigeria is going to happen in a way that even those imperialists, Britain and America, they themselves, they will feel from the collapse of Nigeria. And there is, somebody said that the collapse of Nigeria will not be televised. It is going to be streamed live, and everybody go collect. So PZ is leaving. They said Nigerians have become so poor. They don't think their business can survive anymore. They have been running at loss for the past 5 years. They have been struggling. Everybody Loma collects. You remember that one? Last, you don't cast. Now everybody go chop breakfast.
You don't cast. Last. Everybody go chop breakfast.
Not just that, if you don't understand it in English, Yoruba version day. No.
Gbogbo ala máa jẹ breakfast. Àsìkò tó ní kálukú máa jẹ tiẹ̀ ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni. Summa billahi.
So when I heard that, I know that automatically just means job losses. There are those who have worked with these companies for 20 years, 30 years, 35 years. They would have to just pay them off. Those are going to be lucky ones. Some won't even get their money. So gradually, they would have to pull out. And normal, that should be an opportunity for the thieves in Nigeria. At least they want to own Nigeria. It's an opportunity for them to own Nigeria now. I was with my friends yesterday, and we're just having this random talk, okay? Then I said, Baba, wait, all these guys who are stealing this money, who are printing money, and every time they sense that there is some forex in Nigeria, dollars will just land, they will find means to steal that dollars by using their worthless printed naira. Like they could do that. They could just go and print money and then, use it to buy dollars. I said, Baba, at the end of the day, this whole money that these guys are stealing, this money they went up in Cayman Island. All right? They went up in all this, I said, but Baba, the money is just going to be there. Why can't they just, if I steal money in Nigeria, no, I can't steal your money. I don't have liver for that. Seriously, I don't. And that's why I won't even join. But say if I join them, I'm automatically going to become a thief. I've seen people who said, you see, Mayegu, we need to join them and change the system from inside. Baba, a year after These people will won't go change the system from inside. A year after I saw them, so now the system changed them. Alaya, come now, come. The system never changed now. You don't did there for like a year. No, my brother, it's not easy. It's not easy. You see, when you are not inside, you think it's easy. It's not easy. I know better now. Olori Bruku to join one year. And that's why I'm like always like, don't ever join them. You should, by all means, try to stay away. But again, let's assume say I joined. Now me and my friends they talk yesterday. I said, let's assume say I joined them and I can't manage still. For example, now your former accountant general, that guy that has become that was given somebody stole 184 billion. Accountant General of Nigeria. He stole 184 billion. When he was arrested, he was given bail. A week after, the Kano Emirates, they gave him 2 titles, 2 chieftaincy titles in Kano. One of them is a man who understands management of money. The man that will manage the Kano Emirates finance, that kind of a title, they gave it to him. Now, people, 184 billion naira. And that's what they kind of found that is missing. Maybe it's probably like times 4, times 5 of that he stole under Bokuwario. Let's assume, say, I steal 184 billion, Baba. I was telling my friend, I said, Baba, I can just, if I don't move the money, go Cayman Island, all these places, I will just go and I will just call somebody and say, well, you know what? Let us go and invest the money back so that I can take electricity to Nigeria and claim the money. It's not stolen money. So I will just go and look for a British or American company who is good in electricity generation and distribution and all that, clean energy. Okay. I'll just say, can we partner? You have the expertise. I've got the money. I will give you $500 million. Say I stole the money. Abi? But now people's money. I'm just saying, a God-fearing thief. That's what I mean. Like, if I'm a thief now, I've just stolen about 200 billion from the people. But I'm a kind of a God-fearing thief. So I just want to return the money, but it's still my money, but to help you. So I said, I'll just say, okay, I'll give you maybe $500 million. Then we can go to Nigeria, and we can go and build the biggest power station and power generating station. And me, the repentant thief, I will just start selling electricity to all of you. See, if everybody can't discover later, say, the 24 hours electricity where all of the states in Yoruba land enjoying, all of the states in the East enjoying, all the states, Kantamo, 5 states in the East, 6 states in the Niger Delta, 6 states in Yoruba land, 6, 6, 12, that's about 17 states, Abi. 17 states in Nigeria, they enjoy 24 hours electricity, the cheapest. If you find out later, say, now your money, this guy stole, go build so and so. Even my friend said, but no, if you do that, and they find out, nobody only say you go jail, they will take the money. I say, Papa, wait, I'm trying to be positive. Come on. That's what I'm trying to say now. Okay, is it possible or not? Even my face will not show at all. But this was me thinking of, okay, how can you get 24 hours electricity? Because I'm wondering how it is so hard for them to actually give you 24 hours electricity. So I can say, okay, all these thieves, these companies are living now, they can bring the money back now, like invest in the critical infrastructure, own it, instead of using the government money that you gave to Dangote. Now, Dangote is doing Father Christmas, thinking a lot of people think is reducing the price of diesel that he imported. As the kind-hearted man. In another few months, you will hear the story of how much hundreds of millions of dollars paid to him so that he can help you reduce the diesel price. So I said, why don't you just use the stolen money? Use another means to bring it back. Invest in critical infrastructures. Okay? Invest in them not because you want to make profit per se. And then if you die, you can possibly expect God to forgive you. My friends were like, "Oh, Benny, make imagination not kill you." And they were right. There are many, many of us who believe that it is not a rocket science, okay, to actually make things work. If you give them electricity, the people will build their lives. I have seen the resilience of Nigerians across board. But you see these rogues, they have no solution. And since they do not have any solution, you are just going to have to live on these vibes and inshallah under these criminals. There is a topic I want to pick on, talking about maintaining government institutions, infrastructures, public infrastructures rather, that really serves the purpose, that should be serving the purpose why they are set up. So there has been this argument started. In fact, it wasn't an argument. It was actually a propaganda started by Renu Mokri and APC, Egbekebe. In case if you don't know, the reason why I told you yesterday that I will continue to show to you every content, every move of Peter Obi and the obedient generally. I will amplify their voices whenever they are taking on the Agbadomaiti and the Agbadoriancy. The reason is because the least you can do right now that you can say you are doing something right is to never go and stand behind a state-sponsored, orchestrated propaganda that doesn't even make any sense to start with. But they are driving, they are pushing it, and that's how it works. And before you know it, you have to say, yeah, it's true. So they have this conversation. You know that in 1999, Tifnumbu became the governor of Lagos State. In 2007, Isaleko Barack Obama, Ajangbadi Albert Einstein, Fashola, he became the governor. In fact, APC, Egbekegbe were using Fashola's template as a Lagos State governor, as a template of what they will do when Bokwari become your president. Meanwhile, all of that are just what you call the work of propaganda. It works so well. There are so many people, right, that actually believes, okay, that Fashola is one of the best governors in Nigeria. That's how propaganda works. But at the same time, the statistics shows otherwise. Despite their access to the highest, highest amount of resources when it comes to development, these guys were what? They were developing their personal lives. And that is why Lagos remains the mega shitty, the mega slum of Africa. 24 years, it became impossible for them to even enhance that kind of resources, because Lagos is like a country of its own. If you kind of like have good managers in charge, not these criminals, these thieves. But the propaganda have lasted for so far too long that a lot of people actually believe that. Anyway, it is on record that in Nigeria, the criminal politicians, they have few ways of looting the treasury with what they believe an undetectable technique. They can start construction of needless new roads while the existing roads remains death trapped. And they have this mentality too. if I complete the project of my predecessor, he's going to take the credit, and what am I going to show to people as my own? And that is why, despite the poor state of Nigerian universities, Bokwari still created over 20 new universities that were not even like completed, talking about,